Oh shit, my computer screen's dropping. I'm still here with you.
Oh, now you've messed up the rotation in the back, Tay.
Oh,
Keep going.
What? Still?
No, it's all right. But the colour rotation, that's what it is. I can see the blue, brown and stuff at the side in the bottles.
Oh, fuck, yeah.
No, just move. Yeah, that's it. That's fine.
What's all this stuff?
We can just move the computer slightly to the right.
But then it exposes the rest of the stuff.
No, the other way, there. That's fine.
Okay.
Hello, movement. Mine's on a pillow, so mine's definitely going to move. Got a pillow behind me, so I'm like, that's definitely going to move as well.
So we're recording now?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, where's my stuff? Oh, shit. We've got questions as well, haven't we? Let me put my phone on airplane mode.
No one's going to ring me. It's fine.
Are you sure?
We're a loser.
Okay.
So try around.
Are we going to do the questions in order of yours, mine?
Yeah. Yeah?
Yeah.
You're going to write my answers?
Should we just try and remember them?
Okay.
Let's do that.
Shit. Hi guys, we're still in isolation. We're still recording from home. So glad to see you all. Right, today we're talking about distance learn. No, what's the subject called?
Know your craft.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know it.
Epic fail already. We're not even 1 minute in.
Good. That means we've still got time to recapture this. So we're talking about learning your craft. This is a part of the series called Level Up, and the whole purpose is going from here to here, going from here to here.
Is anyone going to sing Level Up?
I feel like you can't sing that song without like doing a little chest
bump.
Well, Aisha's done the whole routine. Tell them where they can find the routine next to
Oh, on YouTube.
She said, oh, on YouTube. No, yeah, so it's a series called Level Up, and the first part of the series is called Knowing Your Craft, because if you're going to level up in anything, you're going to need to know what you're doing in order to level up in that field. So Aisha's in the hot seat. We're going to be taking some time to explore a few different areas of the subject, and then, you know, hopefully keeping it short and sweet, and then posting it for y'all watching, listening asses and satisfaction.
Right, so
no satisfaction.
Ready for the question. Are you ever too old to learn something new?
No.
Sorry. Do you?
And no one's gonna ring me.
No, I'm on my computer and I'm getting emails. Do you find the intake of information harder to process as you've aged?
Yes.
Is your learning style still the same? Examples as visual, auditory.
Oh my God, can we just leave her at home today?
I am at home. I've had a bad day. Let me tell you, I've had a bad day. I'm here, but I'm not here, you know?
Same.
Reading and writing or doing. Is your learning style still the same, basically?
Yes.
Do you have any courses training in the pipeline at the moment?
Yes.
Oh. Okay, so over to me?
Yeah, it's your turn.
Okay. Do you ever need to relearn something?
Yes.
Are you skeptical of change?
Yes.
Is the number of years it takes to study a subject off-putting for you?
Yes.
Because we know you did the mad thing. Would you go to night school?
No.
Is money the end goal?
Yes.
Thanks, Jo.
That signifies the end of the question round.
So you asked a really interesting question. Can we just quickly focus on the questions? I know we've got a set structure today, but on the whole, is money the goal? And I feel like I don't know, you might feel differently, but for me, a lot of things that I do in terms of my career is motivated by money and leveling up in that way. Rather than necessarily furthering myself. Like, I do things outside of my work sphere to further my creativity, you know, and that kind of thing, but not in regards to my work. I feel like that is very much set on how much money can I make rather than, you know, anything else. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
Sorry, Charlene, are you okay?
2 seconds, I'm going to mute. Give me 1 minute.
I mean, shall we just maybe ban today or something?
I can't. Let me mute. 1 sec.
Do you think she's farting, maybe?
Maybe.
We'll give her a mo.
Yeah, maybe Tay, you tell us what, like,
let
what
it all out, yeah. Let it all out. So while Charlene's muted, money being the goal, I think it's a balance. So between money and flexibility, especially being a mum, I want the flexibility not to be at work 24/7. And my area that I'm talking about, just so I can go for it and get through it, is about the actual learning experience and taking on new skills outside of maybe your current career. So I've started a new course in aesthetics. So I'm literally like studying physiology, anatomy, like the body through and through, which is so difficult. And what I am experiencing is the fact that my learning style might have changed over the years. So I'm having to do things a lot more based on repetition. So making sure that I'm doing it over and over and over so that it penetrates, because this is like some serious stuff and I ain't trying to like mess up nobody's body. But yeah, so that in itself, I asked you the question, do you think time is off-putting? So like, would something put you off of studying? But this is going to take me about roughly a year. And the end goal is to set up the business and be in a position to make more money flexibly, and probably better financially than my current career. So yeah, that's what I'm doing personally as part of the experience. But it's really important that you do the research and know who to go with. So what companies you're training with, anyone that you're going to be educated with. You can go to Ofqual. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, but explain anyway, people that haven't.
Yeah, just to make sure that your course is accredited or it's recognised. You can search the awarding, the course name or the qualification name, just to see if it's actually registered as something that is accredited before you go and jump in. But also talk to course leaders, talk to people, read reviews, see if the course that you're actually learning or going to venture onto is something that's legit, something that's going to be what you need it to be. Because sometimes you don't need things to be accredited. So you need to know whether it's an accredited course you need or if it's something that's more practice-based. So something I'm doing definitely needs to be accredited because of the level of what am I trying to say? You know, I'm not good with my words.
Professionalism, I suppose.
Expertise.
Yeah, and it's also based on the fact that you need to be like insured and stuff as well, I guess. Yeah.
So all of that, the level, the expertise, the fact that you need insurance, the fact that you're working on people, that kind of stuff, it needs to be at that level. But some courses don't need to be accredited. Some things you can learn and develop yourself. So you need to look into whether it's this way or it's that way. Do you need an accreditation or do you just need to practice your craft? If you're going to go through the process, make sure that you know what it is that you're going to get at the end of it. So say, for example, you know, you said that I need to be insured. If you need to be insured, you need to know what you need to do and what skills you need to acquire in order to gain insurance. So some people will train you, but not actually train you in what's relevant to the insurance company. So you need to make sure that you're covering all those tick boxes, like what do you want to do? 2, how can you educate yourself to be able to do it? 3, are you going with the right people to train? 4, are you making sure that you're learning in a way that actually is going to stick with you? So whether that's repetition, whether that's auditory, visual, however your learning skills are, make sure you put yourself in a position to actually know what it is, how it is you're going to achieve that, and then do a time frame. Like, how long is it going to take you to get from here to here? Because if it's a course that takes you 7 years and you don't have 7 years to give, maybe at our age, then it's something that you need to explore whether or not it's worth the time to give you the financial flexibility that you're looking for. There's different areas for different people. Like I said, this one isn't going to take me 7 years, so it puts me in a position to be able to not be so skeptical about change, so I can actually be a little bit more open-minded about what it is that I'm getting involved in, and the fact that it is doable for me right now.
Yeah, I hear that. I guess with the time frame thing, for me, the thought of doing something like for 7 years, again, because I studied so long for my career, it just puts me right off, and it just makes me think I don't want to go right back to square one again, and start right back at the beginning and take years and years to get there. So like the shorter courses, like the year, is a lot more palatable, like what you're doing. And I guess even if you have got your career, there's always ways to further your development and try and get to the next level in that, learn new skills, keep up to date, keep current. So there's always worth looking at courses for that. But you also touched on something else, which was that some things are more practice based rather than accreditation based, in terms of, skills that you can pick up rather than, areas that you need to be accredited in. So that's, something that I'm doing at the moment, kind of in my spare time, for my cake baking business. I don't know if you can call it a business.
You might so.
I mean, yeah, kind of as a business. So check me out at Aisha's Kitchen.
It's a business
on Instagram. But that's something that I've not necessarily gone on any courses to do, but I've used sheer practice, cookbooks, YouTube, social media to learn how to do things. And that has just been, because it's a passion of mine, I've invested the time to just continually learn new things and hone my skills by practicing and practicing and practicing. So there are, for different, like you said, different avenues you can go down, especially if it's not necessarily an accredited thing you want to do. And like I said, things like YouTube is amazing. You can learn how to rewire a motorcycle on YouTube. You can learn practically anything on YouTube. And you can listen to us on YouTube, of course.
A nice shameless plug.
Exactly. Catch us on at What the Poclat on YouTube. But so that's always a good starting point, especially if you need to figure out where you want to go with something. If it's something you might want to do, you can watch other people, what they do on a day-to-day basis and what they're doing as well. And if you see that's something that you can see yourself doing, and then maybe go down the accreditation route once you've done a bit more research.
Do you think money plays a part in it as well? If you see a course that you wanted to do, but it wasn't in your financial kind of bracket at the moment, would that stop you? Or do you think you'd go about ways of trying to get it?
I'm finna sell this ass for that.
Do whatever you can. Do you think they'd put you off though?
I think it is a factor, but you've got to think you're speculating to accumulate. So you're spending that money now, but imagine how much money that's going to make you once you've done that course or got that qualification that you need in order to further yourself in that way. So you've got to have a long term.
If you were to do something, how long would it take for you to get your money back before you did the course, kind of thing?
Yeah, well, exactly. That comes down to planning. Go on, Tay.
I was going to say, it's quite easy to think like that, and obviously it's a necessity, but at the same time, if you're going to be in that career path for longer than the next year, then it's probably worth it. And a lot of companies have got finance options for how you can pay for courses, and if they don't have the finance option, you can look into the loan option, or speaking to family and friends about giving or inputting or contributing towards your course of choice or whatever it is. And don't forget, we're only talking about distance learning and the option of like studying in your spare time, but there might still be, like the last show, internships, apprenticeships, volunteer work, anything that you could do that could give you the up.
When you say spare time, I know that you asked Aisha, like, would you do a night course or anything like that? Would you do that though?
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, that I'm studying all over the place at the moment, so it's not really about like a night course or yeah.
I guess with the night courses, the reason I said no was because that's like the only spare time I get at the moment. And I'd much rather be able to manage my own time, so do the distance learning myself in my own hours rather than being online on a particular course in the evenings or going to a particular venue in the evening. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think it would, to me, it's easier in an environment that's not my home. Like, I'd rather go somewhere, know that I'm there from, even if it was like till 5 till 9 at night, and I go there and I've learned something and then I come back, then I'm fine with that. But distance learning, I think
it's so hard.
It's given too much freedom in my eyes, and I don't. Yeah. It doesn't work. I say it doesn't work for me, but I don't know. I find it more difficult if I don't have structured hours, times, and a place to do it.
And I guess that comes back to everyone's going to have a different way of learning, and everyone's going to have a different style of learning that they prefer. So some people, they need that classroom learning. Other people, they just need to get their heads down to get their head around it, or they need to watch a video or something like that, or listen to someone. So I think it does come back to you identifying how best you learn and how best you're going to retain the information, and then find something that fits around that for you. So it's going to be the most effective.
Maybe do an online test to see what your learning style is and see what would suit you, like you say, and then have a look around and see what's going to be best. Have you done anything recently, Aisha, in terms of, like, say you went to uni for how many years?
Oh God, like 6 years.
You think that you've done anything like recently that has tested your mind as much as that long period of time that you did uni for?
Not at all. And I don't think, if I'm honest, I'd ever would do that again.
Really?
Yeah, I've kind of left that in the past. And there is a course that my workplace is offering at the moment to give me like an extra qualification and up my knowledge in a particular area. And I really need to do it, but I'm struggling to find the motivation to do it, to fit it in around my cakes, podcast, everything like that. But it is on one of my goals this year that I need to do that, because my workplace is offering it for free.
How long is it
for? Well, it's one of those ones where you have to study for it distance, and then you book your exam. So the exam is in like a classroom, but everything else you need to get the book and study for yourself. So it's a lot of self-discipline. So that's why I've struggled with starting it. Because if I was maybe, I don't know, if it was like at work, I had to go to a specific session, then it might have been a bit different. I would have been forced into do it. But I really need to, because that will help my earning potential going forward as well. And it's an area that the world is expanding into. So it just makes every sense for me to do it, not least for my job now, but for the future, if that makes sense.
It's all about challenging yourself as well, though. Challenge yourself to find the time and do it all.
Yeah, that's true.
Superwoman.
It's very true. What about you, Shah?
I've been to college a couple of times, learning like I'm better at going to an environment, if you know what I mean. Like, whereas done my level 2 years ago, and I done an apprenticeship when I was 15. And then I've been back to college 3 times since then, for like literally perfecting the craft, I suppose. Going to get my higher education, which I needed to do for my teaching diploma. So I did that as well. That was the last time that I went to college. And that was hard for me, because I don't work in an industry that's anything about computers, writing. To do Harvard referencing at the age of, I don't know, it's probably like 27 or whatever, going to college.
That's always going to be hard.
Yeah, this is the first time I was like, what the this shit, and doing like a presentation, and that was hard. I think that was the most challenging, because it was totally out of my actual like career, I suppose. It was taking me to a different environment that was really more about study, but I wanted to do it to have something to fall back on, basically, just to...
But Sure, they've got that saying that says, those who can do and those who can't teach.
Yeah.
I'm finding that those who can do and teach it. So literally, in a day and age where that qualification seem, even for me, like as soon as I've mastered my craft, I will be going to do a teaching qualification to expand that earning potential, because you can train people and you can deliver courses and your money's going to go through the roof. So even for you, Aisha, like when you're at the point where you're ready, go and do your teaching qualification, and then you've got another earning potential there.
Yeah, it's true.
It really does make sense. It's difficult, but do it while you can. And I wanted to do it while I was young and still understood, because I was in a class with people that were a lot older, and it was taking them even further away from even being at school and stuff, where they've done nothing like that. And then they've been taken back into a classroom environment, and a lot of people kind of struggled with it. So I'd rather do it young while I can. And, you know, if you need to do a little top-up course before you actually teach, then so be it. But I've done it now, and that's what I'd find that a bit more beneficial to me. Again, that was like in the evenings. I always find that all the courses that I do in the evenings, on my days off, or like in my own spare time, but still not from home. That makes sense.
Home is hard, especially whatever your environment is. You have to really be rigid and structure yourself in a way where you know, or you at least believe that you're going to achieve
podcasts without being interrupted. The fuck.
Not even once a week, Shah, for 20 minutes. Can you just have a piece of quiet?
You can't even
this is what I'm saying. This is why I
I saw today.
Home is hard, and if home wasn't hard enough, COVID home is hard.
You were reading in your car, right?
Yeah. Wanted to read my book. Just wanted to read my book in my car.
And you ran away.
Did anyone open the front door and you went like this? To pretend you weren't there.
But this is the thing, you know, when you're in your house, people need you by default.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not here, I'm not needed. So I had to take myself out the house. So I even begged my manager, can I come into the office? No, you're not really allowed. I was like, do you know what? Fine, I'm just going to sit in my car and read my book.
Imagine that, being told you
gotta do what you gotta do, girl.
I know. They ain't going to be saying that in the months to come, though, are they?
Exactly. I'm begging you to get there. Begging you.
Get there now. Where are you?
But there's different ways. Has anyone had a look at courses since we've been in isolation and stuff like that? Because I know that I had a look at some Open University courses, and I think it was a bit overwhelming for me, because I was having a look, and I think I was associating it to the fact of, oh, well, how can it help my career? Like you say, how can it help you earning potential or to make more money or whatever? And I was having a look, and I was like, I don't know. And so I never did actually pick one.
But you got.
There's options.
Sorry,
there's options still. I should go back and have a look and see if there's something that, you know, tickles my fancy. I saw the other day they've even got a course about coping in isolation, 6-hour course.
Wow.
I don't know how it
interesting.
It's not going to help you like develop your career, but I think that there's different ways that you can. I suppose there must be business courses. You've got your basic numeracy and literacy courses and stuff like that can help you. IT courses and whatnot. So there are things to have a look at if people have got time now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's.
But remember, like I was going to say, start with passion, because obviously there's endless amounts of courses and programs you could get involved in just for the fact of making money. But if you don't have a passion about it, how you learn is going to be difficult. You're going to lose interest. Even if you manage to complete the course, you still then got to go and put yourself out there and market it in a way that people choose you over someone else. So you've really got to think about whether or not you want to do the course, and not just the fact that it's going to bring money. Because if it was just for the fact of bringing money, I'm sure we would all be like doctors and lawyers and stuff by now, you know?
Yeah.
But you have to remember, Kelly said we've got to work backwards. We've got to plan backwards. So we've got to Nallop. Was it Nallop? We've got a Nallop. So if you know,
backwards, plan backwards.
Yeah. So if you know you want to be at this level, what are the steps before that you've got to take to get there? So do you need to do a course? Do you need to do your numeracy and literacy? Do you need to go and shadow someone? Do you need to go and find out more about the industry? Do you need to take a day where you're just volunteering? So there's different options in different ways. But now look.
Plan your ass backwards.
The end goals. I like that.
Yeah.
Did anyone put a timer on today?
No. But
No.
it's all good.
So just here chatting, yeah? Does anyone know the time?
Time, nearly the end of the podcast.
Did we wing it today?
Slightly.
Have we succeeded? Did we?
I think we have.
Did we
Yeah,
know?
I think we did.
We nailed. Did we nail
We
it?
nailed. I really like you in your hat, Shah.
It's because I didn't do my hair today. I told you, Aisha, I've had like the most weird day. Weird. That's all.
I'm definitely calling you after, just so you know.
Can we just stay on for a bit after once we like stop recording so I can hear what's been going on? Please. I always ask you to tell me after the podcast. You never
You
tell
always
me.
do this, actually. You're like, oh, tell me who you was talking about on the podcast. Tell me who you did this to on the podcast. It's like, we're chatting people's business. We can't tell you on the podcast.
All right, tell me else. Tell me
I always
else.
forget.
Do you think there's any key points that we need to like round up with in regards to leveling up and at this point knowing your craft? I feel like we just need to hit with those key
I mean,
pointers.
I think it's also important to say that even if you don't know what you want to do in life, exceed in what you're doing right now and then move forward. Do you get what I mean? Like, you might not always want to be an architect, but excel in that, do it like to its most degree, and then move on, and then just design houses rather than same thing, right? Or not design houses, build houses. Do you get what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
You want to be a makeup artist, do everything that you can to be a makeup artist, and then develop your own makeup. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. Always push yourself.
If that's where you want to stay.
If that's what you want to do, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think also a good thing to do, like we've discussed loads, is find out what your learning style is. And how best you will be most receptive to courses or learning in order to further yourself in your career.
Yeah, I agree with that. So look for a quiz online and stuff like that, like a test online, and see what your learning style is.
You can even get a career coach or mentor, things like that. So someone that helps to drive your motivation a little bit more if you're not there fully yourself. But I'd say my rounding points just to leave you guys with is definitely do something you're passionate about, plan backwards so you can establish exactly how you're going to get there. Definitely do research into anyone that you're going to train with and make sure that by the end of that training it's worth something. So not that you've just spent the last year on a bloody YouTube course, but that you've actually done something that's going to add weight to what you're trying to achieve. And also I'd say structure how you're going to learn. So give yourself times, give yourself a place where you're going to study, give yourself ways of reiterating that learning. So like remembering, repetition, do what you need to do to make sure it's stuck in there and it's something that you actually do.
Completely. Cool. All right. Well, thanks guys for listening. I hope you found that informative, us sharing our experiences and giving a bit of advice on how you can maybe further yourself as well. Isolation is a good time to do that. You hopefully got a bit more time on your hands. But if not, after that.
Can we end with all doing the dance?
Oh. Lower it.
Let go of my computer. I let go. I'm like,
right,
a little bit.
The next episode in the series.
Yeah. Awadi Pod Clutch.
What? Awadi Pod Clutch.